Before we begin this video, I just want to say thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. I released a video yesterday on Left 4 Dead 2 lore on why I think the military is actually winning in the fight against the green flu, and it blew me away how well that video did. It was awesome to engage with you guys in the comments and talk about each and every one of your theories, and I just want to say genuinely thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, and I will get into the video now, but again, just thank you. Thank you so much. Imagine this. You're creeping through a desolate alleyway, the eerie silence broken only by the distant groans of the undead. You think you're safe, cautiously scanning your surroundings, when suddenly, a piercing shriek slices through the air. Your heart races, and before you can react, something leaps from the shadows. It's fast, it's relentless, and it's got you pinned to the ground, tearing into you with claws that seem designed for carnage. This is the Hunter, a predator in every sense of the word. Where other infected overwhelm with brute force or numbers, the Hunter strikes with precision and ferocity. It's not content to simply chase you down. It stalks you, toys with you, and then brings you down with the grace of an apex predator. Every encounter with the Hunter feels personal, like it's been watching, waiting, and planning its attack just for you. Let's talk about the Hunter, the parkour nightmare of the Left 4 Dead universe. If the witch is the tragic banshee of the infected and the tank is the gym bro that never knows when to stop drinking protein shakes, then the Hunter is its lethal predator. A creature that doesn't just attack, but stalks, leaps, and tears apart its prey with terrifying precision. The Hunter is what happens when the infection meets raw athleticism and unrelenting bloodlust. This thing doesn't shamble like the common infected or charge like the tank. No, the Hunter plays by a different set of rules. It moves with a frightening, animalistic grace, climbing walls, leaping across rooftops, and using the environment to its advantage. When you hear that high-pitched screech echo through the air, it's not a warning, it's a promise that somewhere out there the Hunter is watching, waiting, ready to strike. Visually, the Hunter is a haunting figure. Clad in a tattered hoodie, ripped jeans, and blood-streaked hands, it looks like someone who fell victim to the infection while trying to disappear from the world. The hoodie's shadowed cowl hides its disfigured face, adding an air of menace, while the shredded fabric speaks to the relentless physicality of its attacks. The choice of attire feels almost symbolic, practical clothing turned monstrous, as if the Hunter is what happens when an ordinary person is consumed by rage and despair. If you'll take a moment and look at the Hunter's arms and hands, you may notice wrist wraps, a common practice seen in boxers. It's possible that he may have simply been very athletic or a boxer. But why does someone become a Hunter? It's not hard to imagine that the infection seizes on individuals who are already primed for such transformation. Perhaps it's the loners, the outcast, or those who relied on speed and agility to navigate the chaos of the outbreak. Their heightened athleticism and survival instincts are twisted into deadly tools, and their need to stay hidden morphs into an unnatural stealth. The Hunter isn't just another infected, it's a reflection of what happens when desperation and isolation are warped into something predatory and unstoppable. And when it inevitably strikes, it doesn't hold back. The Hunter's signature move is its pounce, a leap that can close the distance between it and its prey in an instant. Once it lands on a survivor, it pins them to the ground, clawing at them with unrelenting ferocity. The damage it can inflict depends on the difficulty level. On easy difficulty, the Hunter does 10 damage per claw and 5 damage every half second to pounce survivors. On normal difficulty, the Hunter does 10 damage per claw, 6 in versus, and 5 damage every half second to pounce survivors. In versus mode, it also deals 1 damage on a successful pounce, with additional pounce damage depending on the distance of the leap. Successful pounces in versus and survival modes also cause nearby survivors to stumble. On advanced difficulty, it does 20 damage per claw and 10 damage every half second to pounce survivors, and finally, on expert difficulty, the Hunter does 40 damage per claw and 15 damage every half second to pounce survivors. A full health survivor can be killed in 9 seconds, or incapacitated in just 3 seconds if clawed by the hunter. What makes the hunter even more terrifying is its unpredictability. Unlike the tank, which charges head-on, or the smoker, which pulls survivors from a distance, the hunter thrives on chaos. It uses the environment to ambush survivors, striking when they least expect it. A good hunter player, or the AI in just the right conditions, can completely dismantle a survivor group by targeting the isolated or the unsuspecting. It's the definition of a hit-and-run attacker, vanishing into the shadows after every strike, only to reappear moments later. So the question you might be asking yourself is, how do you survive an encounter with this leaping terror? First, keep moving, and not in a straight line. Hunters thrive on predictable targets, and a survivor running in a straight path is an easy mark for their deadly pounce. Zigzag, change directions, and use the environment to make yourself harder to hit. When you hear that telltale screech, your best bet is to stick close to your team and find cover. The hunter's leap is powerful, but it can be interrupted if you manage to shoot it mid-air. A risky move, but one that could save your life if timed right. It is also possible to actually shove a hunter mid-pounce, which can render his pounce completely ineffective. However, this is pretty difficult to do in versus and really does require you to have a very low ping. So if your ping's above about 0, then you're not ever going to be able to do this. You can find most versus players that actually enjoy playing the hunter flying around in the middle of nowhere attempting to get a 25 damage pounce. If you look up in the sky in parts of the map that you probably haven't been to yet, you'll see the hunter flying around like Aang in that one scene of Avatar. To counter an overconfident hunter player, the best strategy is to seek cover under anything that offers a roof, an awning, a building, or anything that can shield you from above. Once you're under cover, you're largely safe from the hunter. Keep moving and zigzagging, as this makes it extremely difficult for them to land a pounce. The hunter's travel time also works in your favor, as it takes quite a while for them to descend from their high pounce locations. As long as you're not blasting music like Juice WRLD and can hear the hunter's distinctive shriek, dodging their attacks should be relatively easy. The hunter isn't just an enemy, it's a test of your awareness, coordination, and adaptability. It's a reminder that in a world overrun by the infected, the most dangerous threats aren't always the biggest or the loudest. Sometimes they're the ones that move in silence, watching, waiting, and striking when you least expect it. And that's a deep dive into the terror that is the hunter, the predator that lurks in the shadows waiting for its moment to strike. It's not just about brute strength or numbers. The hunter is a master of stealth, agility, and calculated strikes. Every encounter with it is a test of your reflexes, your awareness, and your ability to adapt under pressure. Whether you're playing solo or with a team, one wrong move, one moment of inattention, and you could find yourself pinned to the ground, fighting for your life. So stay sharp, stay unpredictable, and keep your team close. Because when a hunter's on the prowl, it's never just a game of survival, it's a fight for your very existence.